All right, what is going on, everyone? We are back. NFL wild card weekend, super wild card weekend, if you want to call it that. We got 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and then we will end things off with Monday Night Football. Going to go through all 6 wild card games this weekend. We got me and Ace going through them. We're going to start things off. We have 2 NFC matchups on Saturday. Our first game at 4:30 on Fox in Carolina with the Rams taking on the Panthers. Panthers ending up winning that NFC South. They get the home game at 8-9, hosting the Rams. The Panthers are getting 10.5 points at home. Over under at 45.5. The Panthers are plus 425 on the money line. Any interest in the Panthers to upset the Rams here?
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers kind of having that storybook season, right? And it's kind of interesting they got to the spot, not a great record, winning some tiebreakers to backdoor their way into the playoffs. Kudos to them and Bryce Young kind of having that up and down season, but starting to show that he is a franchise quarterback. But I don't think they can get the job done here. This Rams team is having a tremendous season. They have Devontae Adams back in the mix too, and they have too much firepower on offense. And I don't believe in that Carolina Panthers defense at all. Yeah, Torrey McMillan's good. Yeah, Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard can step up to the plate. I don't know about anybody else being able to keep up with the firepower that Matthew Stafford, MVP potential, has on the board for the Rams today.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of agree. I think it's going to be a little bit too much. I think getting a healthy Devontae back, you got to think he's ready to go. They said he could have played last week, but in a true, not really meaningless, but seeding for the wild card, they got the spot they wanted, going to the 4 seed in this spot with Carolina. I think the Rams win the game. 10.5 is a tough number, especially in a playoff game. I actually like this game to go over 45.5. I think Carolina will be able to come out and put up some points, maybe a couple points in the first half. I think the Rams are going to absolutely do what they need to do. I'd love to see what their team total set out here. Probably 27.5 if I had to guess. Doesn't even have it
Yeah,
listed.
the one
Oh,
thing
yeah, it does.
that's important is if the Rams aren't able to put up a lot of points and handily
28
win
and a
this
half.
game, does it make you worried moving into the next round with some tougher opponents in the NFC?
Yeah, because you got to think getting Devontae Adams back with Corum, Kyron, Nakua, Adams, and then obviously the emergence of Parkinson this year at the tight end position. I think the Rams are going to be able to put up points in this game. I guess I would lean on them minus the 10.5. I don't like a lot of the favorites
That's a
this weekend.
crazy line in the
I know.
playoffs.
I hate it on the road. Obviously, you got it. Like, if you blind told me the Rams are a 10.5 point favorite against Carolina, I'd be like, oh, okay, this game's in SoFi. Like, that makes sense. But no, they're cross country on a 4:30 game. I'm not going to bet the Rams minus 10.5. I like the over a little bit more. I'll probably be on a Nakua touchdown. You got to think they're going to look at Devontae in this game. You could probably take both of those guys. I think both of them or both or at least one will hit.
That's some bulletin board material too for the Panthers, the way that they're getting that disrespected on their home turf. I do like them to cover this game. I think getting 10.5 points at home in the playoffs, I think they do end up covering, especially even a backdoor scenario. But I think they're able to keep it close in the first half. The first half, if you have the Rams even on the money line in a parlay, you're going to be like, oh man, this is kind of sketchy. But I do think the Rams end up on top. The veteran
Yeah.
experience, playoff experience, a lot of Super Bowl experience on the whole team will provide a big boost. And Sean McVay, he'll be able to figure it out, even if at halftime there's some woes and their defense can play strong too. But yeah, I've got the Rams to win this game and move on.
Yeah, I agree. Our Saturday night game, 8 p.m. on Amazon Prime, in a divisional matchup with the Green Bay Packers heading to Soldier Field to take on the Bears. The Bears are the home dog here at plus 1.5, over under at 44.5. Bears money line plus 105, Packers minus 125. NFC North matchup here. What do we think?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great game. Jordan Love, Toyotathon, I believe, is now over, right? So his days of being the guy are kind of out of the picture. Meanwhile, those Bears, they've been super hot. Ben Johnson showing them they can score no matter what. There's no Michael Parsons on that side of the ball too, which is crazy. The run schemes they will get with Monangai and Swift is able to be nice. Caleb Williams in year two, looking like a whole different quarterback, and his weapons are great. Luther Bird and Romo Dunze, DJ Moore. He's got the tight ends in Loveland and Komet. There's a lot of options for this Bears team, and I think that they're able to put up enough offense to win this game. Caleb Williams' first ever playoff game. Ben Johnson, first ever playoff game as a head coach. I like him to win. We got Trey saying he's got Romeo Dobbs for over 49.5 receiving yards. I think I like that. I like his receptions a bit more. I think he moves the ball. They find him in the red zone too. Look for Christian Watson to have some big catches as well. but I think that there's going to be some good stuff for the Bears here today. I think there's a lot of points in this one, honestly. That Bears defense doesn't really show too much for me, but great coaches, LaFleur versus Johnson, divisional matchup. I'm taking the home dog here, Huff.
I agree. I like the Bears in this one. There's supposed to be this could be a snow game as well, something to keep an eye out for, just to be weary about. I know you said you may like that over there. A lot of points. I think though we don't know what the weather conditions are going to look like coming into this game, but I like Chicago as well. Plus 105 on the money line. This line has been moving around. The Bears opened up as a favorite. Packers obviously now sitting at plus or minus 1.5, minus 125 on the money line. I'm going to go with the Bears. I like Caleb Williams in this spot. Like you said, his first playoff game. Ben Johnson, first playoff game as a head coach. I think they're going to be looking to make a statement, kind of rewrite the script on the Bears Packers, history. The Packers have always historically owned the Bears. Look for the Bears to end the Packers season here today after, the Packers had all the Super Bowl expectations and things like that. I think they're going to be going out in the first round in the wild card weekend tonight in Chicago. But we have three more great games on Sunday. Going to end things off with Monday Night Football. We'll start off with our 1 o'clock game on Sunday. The Buffalo Bills heading to Jacksonville to take on the AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags are now -1 in this game. Over under at 51.5. Jaguars on the money line -115. Bills -105. I've gone back and forth every single time I've looked at this game. I think I have a future on the Bills plus 700. I took a couple weeks ago. I had a good week. I was like, oh, screw it. I kind of want a future to root for. With all the storylines that, Mahomes out of the playoffs, Jackson, Burrow, I was like, all right, maybe this is the Bills' year. I don't feel good about this game at all. I don't know if I'm going to bet a side on this one because I could see this truly go either way. 51.5. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I think Josh Allen and James Cook are going to have to do everything they can for this Bills team to be in the picture. I don't love the Bills defense. The Jaguars defense, on the other hand, has been good this year and they've been able to put up points. You got to say the Jaguars are the better roster and probably should be favored for a reason, but I can't bet against Josh Allen in this spot right here.
Yeah, this is such a tough one. Chat, let me know what you guys are liking. A lot of you guys jumping on some of these games here. It's such a tough one here. You got one of the hottest teams in the league in the Jacksonville Jaguars. Haven't had much playoff success under Trevor Lawrence. So they're looking to turn the tide there. Liam Cohen's been dynamite at everything he's touched. So what makes us think that he can't be dynamite when it comes to playoff time? Also, Huff, the stat of Josh Allen being winless on the road in the playoffs is something that hangs heavy in my heart right now. I think he's 0-9 in the playoffs on the road. I believe that says 0-6, 0-9, something crazy like that. But the fact that he's been yet to get a win. And one big thing is defense wins championships. You know that as a Pittsburgh Steelers guy. I know that as a New England Patriots guy throughout the last 20 years. And that defense for the Buffalo Bills is basically Swiss cheese. I mean, they haven't been able to stop anything. And Trevor Lawrence, with Jacoby Myers coming in, they extended him because he's a great weapon. Parker Washington's another one. Brian Thomas Jr. I know there's no Travis Hunter for being exciting, but they still have Brenton Strange as well. ETN's had a great bounce back year. Liam Cohen unlocking that run game. They're at home. I don't know if it's so big being in Jacksonville, but the fact that they're not in Buffalo, like we were talking about before the podcast, is massive to me. I think a crazy thing you can look at here, if you guys want some dart throws, is the quarterbacks to run some in here. I think
I
Trevor
was just gonna
Lawrence.
say my favorite plays. I love Lawrence anytime touchdown plus
Yeah, he's been
175.
doing it so often lately. It's crazy. And I usually like ETN to get into. I'm a big fan of ETN. I think he has a big day once again. I think the ground game gets rolling. This Bills defense, like I said, not much really stopping them. I know they have Ed Oliver, Joey Brosa they brought in too, and Russo. Those are their big names, and Matt Milano up front. But besides that, I mean, they can't really stop much. Look for Myers to have a lot of reception in this one, Huff. Meanwhile, for the Bills side, James Cook has to get going. Josh Allen has to get going. I think Josh Allen can have a big game and put on a Superman cape to try and will his team to victory in a losing effort. I do think he definitely finds the end zone as well. He's probably sitting right there, like minus 110, right?
Minus 135.
Yeah, so shop that around. You might be able to find better. But Josh Allen, I think, definitely finds the end zone, especially if they get inside the goal line. He's going to be running the ball a lot, taking big hits, extending plays. But I don't think it's going to be enough. I think this Jaguars team is getting hot at the right time. They're at home for a reason. And this Bills team, it's just not their year. Maybe they move on from Sean McDermott because his philosophy is supposed to be strong defense, and that's the one thing that's holding them back. They need to revamp that roster and build around Cook and Allen a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. We got a great game on Sunday at 4:30. The 49ers heading to Philly. The defending champion Eagles are laying 6 points, over under 44.5. Eagles minus 275. 49ers on the road plus 225 on the money line. A lot of injury questions going into this game. I just read before this, Trent Williams did not practice this week, I believe. They have a couple other injury question marks. Lane Johnson did practice, so it's looking like Philly's going to be getting him back to help bolster that run game. How do you feel about this NFC matchup that I feel like we've seen in the playoffs the past 5 years?
Yeah, it's funny you said that because I'm like, can we get the Eagles and the Niners again? And the thing is, it's not the Niners we're typically seeing, right? There's no Fred
We
Warner.
usually see it a little later in the playoffs. It's never in the
Yeah,
first round because these
usually
two
it's
teams the past few years have been winning their division or seeing each other late in the NFC Championship.
yeah, the NFC Championship is one that always bodes what high in my mind. I remember when all those quarterbacks were hurt, they're going down the depth chart. Almost had McCaffrey playing QB. But what's crazy here is the Eagles never get to see the Niners at full strength. I mean, but this year they've been at this spot for a while. It's not like they just had these injuries pop up and Robert Sala's back to command that defense. Yeah, they're missing Warner. Yeah, they're missing Bosa, but they have a lot of young names stepping up, and that's what's nice for me to see. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, they're firing on all cylinders here. Jags will lose to the Bills. Loser says, I don't know. I don't know. Must be a big Josh Allen believer. But back to this Niners team. I mean, McCaffrey, Huff, he's at full force. How often do you get to see that in the playoffs? George Kittle's at full force. Another one we don't see it too often. On the outside, the receivers looking good. Jennings, Pearsall,
They
whoever
don't
it
have the
may be.
question marks on offense. It's the defense. I mean,
Yeah,
offensive line, I guess you could say Trent Williams is
that is
arguably their
big.
best
Yeah, that
player,
is
but
big. I think McCaffrey being healthy, he's one of the best running backs. He's the best running back in the playoffs. I know there's a lot of Saquon Barkley fans out there. No, I'm a Ravens fan. Oh, sorry, bro. Sorry, little bro. That's a tough one for you. But yeah, the Christian McCaffrey being healthy, I think he's going to have an absolute monster game in the playoffs. I'm looking for him to go over 100 combined total yards, maybe even over 120 off in a big day for him. He's going to see 30 plus touches. He's definitely finding the end zone. Look for Purdy. The big thing for him, if they want to win this game, is ball security. We can't be throwing interceptions all game, Brock Purdy. Meanwhile, on the Eagles side of the ball, we got Trey saying, I like A.J. Brown for over 79.5 receiving yards. I do too. I don't think there's a good matchup for him, and I think they're going to funnel the ball to him early and often. Also, this Niners team is good at putting up points. I know this Eagles defense is great. We've seen them in the prime time and time again throughout the year, holding people to single digits, under 20 points. But I think this Niners team is a different beast. Kyle Shanahan offense, they can scheme things up with a lot of different weapons, and that side of the ball is going to be tough for them to cover. They've done a great job against tight ends, so I don't know how I feel about George Kittle this week. I still think he's the number 2 tight end in the league, number 2 or 3, so he will get his, but it's going to be the McCaffrey day. Meanwhile, look for Barkley to get going a little bit. It's going to be tough against the solid defense. A.J. Brown to have a big one. I think Dallas Goedert steps up too. And let's not be surprised if we see a tush push from Jalen Hurts in come playoff time. I've got the Niners winning this one, an upset on the road. Crazy to say against the defending champions losing in the first round. Huff. Let me know what you're thinking for this one.
I like the Niners, but I like the spread. I think they're able to keep it close. We've seen these teams play each other. I think the Eagles' defense is the reason I'm going to take the points and not them to win the game. I do think they could win the game. The injury question marks, like I said, with Trent Williams, we saw that guy that stepped in for him in the past few weeks. He has not looked good. Purdy's been scrambling around, but like you said, they're still able to put up points with guys like McCaffrey. Jawan Jennings has looked good. The receiving depth that they have that didn't look good to start the season when the question mark around Ayuk started and when was he coming back, and now it looks like never. But I like this Niners team to hang around in this game. I almost bet this at plus 4.5 when it opened. I'm glad I didn't. I thought it was going to go the other way. I thought this was going to close at like Eagles -3, 49ers +3. It's going the total other way with these injury question marks. Eagles getting Lane Johnson back. I'm going to take the Niners, but I might even wait. I feel like the way this is moving, it's moved a point and a half in a day. This could keep going up. I'd wait to bet this one.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great matchup here. This could be matchup of the week here. It's going to be tight throughout. We could even see some overtime here. I wonder if you guys want to look it up prop for that one. But I think it's the Christian McCaffrey game. The fact that he's the best player on the field, as long as Brock Purdy protects the ball, then they're going to win this one. Saquon Barkley, man, he's going to have to show up. If it's a battle of Quan and CMC, I'd love to see it, but I don't think so. Best players on both sides. My favorite to get in the end zone, A.J. Brown and Christian McCaffrey. I think some other ones, Jawan Jennings and Dallas Goedert for some more deeper dart throws.
Absolutely. We move to Sunday Night Football. Both of our teams getting the prime time spots Sunday night and Monday night. Your Patriots will start us off on Sunday Night Football, 8 o'clock on NBC, hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are the dog, getting 3.5 points on the road, over under 45.5. Patriots -200. Chargers +165. How are we feeling coming into this game?
Yeah, feeling very confident. The Patriots getting healthy at the right time. We just got Milton Williams and Will Campbell back. The big thing is the Milton Williams effect. When he's in the game, they allow teams to rush for 83.5 yards per game. When he's not in the game, they allow teams to rush for 143.5 yards per game. Big difference there. I think it's only three rushing touchdowns allowed versus 10 rushing touchdowns without him. And he's healthy, so we're good to go. You got Barmore and him loading up the line. You got Robert Spillane back. Cleavon Chiasen is nice coming off the edge. Hopefully, Harold Landry's ready to go. Christian Gonzalez, one of the best cornerbacks in football with Carlton Davis on the outside. The emergence of Jalen Hawkins in the secondary. This whole defense is ready to go. And I think that they're going to have their hands full with that Chargers receiving core. Yeah, there's Keenan Allen, Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnson. They have Aronde Godston, who's been a nice emergence for them. Meanwhile, Omarion Hampton is out. We have someone saying all home teams today will win. Yeah, that's not a bad take. But back to this Patriots game, I think that the Patriots offense is going to be putting up too many points for this Chargers team to handle. And if the Chargers get down in a hole, they become one dimensional and it's tough. Also, we know how Herbert's playoff woes are. You and I are big on Justin Herbert, but he does not like to shine in the big moment. Meanwhile, the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson has been absolutely rolling, and they have Travion Henderson, who hasn't gone over under 50 yards lately at all. With that two-headed monster in the backfield, sets with the play action, and Drake May, who's going for that MVP. We know how great he can be, how great his deep ball is too. Stephon Diggs in the big moment, Huff. We got to think he steps up too. Whenever the spotlight's on, he seems to shine, especially in prime times games this year. He goes over 100 yards every time, and he's that crucial target on third down. Look for him to go over his reception prop and have a big day. I think Ramondre definitely gets in here. But look for Drake May to absolutely eat. He's been unstoppable all year long. Nobody has real answers for him, and he's going to keep doing that this week. Josh McDaniels, one of the best offensive coordinators in the league, highly sought after for some of these coaching vacancies, although I hope he stays this time. But he'll be able to scheme up some good stuff on offense here. Look for the Patriots to put up too many here. I got the Patriots putting up 4 touchdowns on offense, kicking 1 field goal with rookie Andy Borgalis. It's going to put them at 31 points. Meanwhile, I think that the Chargers will get some on their end, but I think it's only going to amount to 20. So that's 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals here. I like Ramondre Stevenson for 50 rushing yards. I do too. I think Trey gets his as well. I think both running backs eat this week. Someone's saying Chargers smacking them. You're crazy. You're out there, and I don't know what planet you're on, but it's not this one. Patriots this week off. Give me them to win and advance into the second round. What do you think?
I like your score prediction. I don't care how it comes because I like the over in this game, 45.5. I think Herbert's able to put up points in this one. I think Drake May and the Patriots offenses as well. I like the Patriots rushing attack in this one. The Chargers defense does scare me coming into this one. They have been playing good the past few weeks. But I think the fact that this game's in New England on Sunday Night Football, I think that we're going to see the fireworks that we want to see. Get over 45.5. I like that. I like that score prediction. That'll bring it home for both of us.
You trust in the MVP potential? You trust in Justin Herbert to finally overcome
Does it
his
scare?
playoff
Is this
woes on the
Justin
road?
Herbert's first playoff game with Jim Harbaugh?
No, I believe last year they were there, right? Or 2
Okay.
years ago.
Were
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Last
that
year was his first year with Harbaugh.
yeah, let's see. They were in the playoffs last year. I think they lost. Chargers playoff chat. We got Rosario. He's Rosario Jr. being a big Chargers guy, right? Last year, Chargers playoffs history. Let's see right there. Yeah, I believe they were there last year and they lost in their first game because that was
They
my
lost to the
argument.
Texans, yeah.
Yeah, that was my argument. It's like, oh, Harbaugh's there and Herbert's gonna get right, and he still couldn't do it against a weak Texans team last year, right?
In Houston, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I was like, ugh, like if they can't do it there, what makes you think the tide's gonna turn there? Justin Herbert in his last few playoff games, multiple turnovers. I believe he has 2 touchdowns and 4 or 5 interceptions. Hasn't thrown for over 250 yards. So I don't know. I think it's a tough environment, and the Patriots making them be one-dimensional, Huff, with a good secondary too, is going to be a tough sledding for them. Drake May, MVP season. How are you going to stop him? Moving about the pocket, tossing the ball downfield. A lot of different options. Hunter Henry, little revenge game too against those old Chargers. One of the most unspoken of tight ends, but super reliable when it comes to him. I know you like to smack him for first touchdown sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised to see it this week, but I just think Ramondre playing so well. Holding on to the ball, him not being able to be tackled, and then Travion Henderson not being able to go. Someone said the only thing that is going to stop the Chargers is the cold. What about Milton Williams? How are they going to get through? What about that O line for the Los Angeles Chargers? Absolutely buns. Look at Cleavon Chiasen, former first round pick, now turned into superstar with the Patriots to have a big day getting through to Justin Herbert. Let's not be weird of him getting hurt again. You know, sometimes Herbert getting a little hurt. I don't know. The one dimensional Chargers ain't doing it for me. I got the Patriots here at home to advance.
All right, we'll move to Monday Night Football. I will be at this game again. Steelers hosting the Texans in, or like I said, Monday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. on ESPN. Steelers, Texans. Steelers are the dog, getting 3 points at home. Over-unders at an even 38. The Steelers on the money line, plus 135. The Texans, minus 160. I'm obviously going to be taking the Steelers in this spot. I think that win last week was obviously kind of gets you some momentum going into this spot. Steelers haven't had a home playoff game. I don't even know how fucking long. That's why as soon as I knew that, I was like, I have to be in attendance for this one. There's two other plays I love in this game. The first half under 19 and a half. That is going to be my favorite play. I could see this be 7-3 at halftime, 7-6, something like that. 19 and a half points you're getting at halftime. Love that. I do like the full game under, more confident in that first half under. I'm going to take the Steelers to win the game. I think they got some good juju coming into this one. Two great defenses. Texans, obviously, the best defense in the NFL. I'm not super scared of Stroud. I've never been too big on him. The guy that scares me on the Texans offense is obviously Nico Collins, but Joey Porter's been good in coverage. I'm going to take our chances with that. He's definitely going to get his. He'll probably get whatever, 60, 70 yards, probably a touchdown. We're going
Six
to have
seven.
to worry about containing him. Yeah, true. But I don't know. I'm not scared of this Texans offense. The rushing attack for them is what makes me confident in our defense's ability to stop them. I'm not big in Woody Marks, and Nick Chubb does scare me if they are like, hey, Nick Chubb's done it to the Steelers before. Let's just hand it to him and see if he can have a game. That's what me and my cousin were talking about last night. But I think the Steelers are going to be able to handle this one. I like the under first half. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 135 on the money line. I'm a little more confident in this one than I was last week against Baltimore, just because of the way that things can go with the Steelers and the Ravens. We saw how that game ended. Steelers end up on the right side of it.
Yeah, I mean, Huff, we're in a prime time in Pittsburgh. If there was ever a spot to take it under, it's got to be this one, especially with the number one defense coming to town. I'll tell you what, though, I was scared of one team coming into the playoffs as a Patriots fan hosting, and that was the Houston Texans just because of that defense. They're the number one defense in the
For
league
us,
for
it
a
was the
reason.
Bills because we saw what the Bills did to us 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's right. For you guys at least. But I was saying from my perspective, just that defense, the pass rush with Will Anderson coming off one side, they have the other pass rusher coming off the other side too. They just get to the quarterback so early and often. Their safety jumping into the mix too. I believe that's Petrie, right? He's really good too on the
Your boy
outside.
with the Guardian cap.
Yeah, he's way too good to be wearing a Guardian cap. Like, what are you doing for the brand? If you're that good, you need to not be wearing a Guardian cap. But Derek Stingley too, match up with DK Metcalf. You got to think Metcalf's going to be ready to go coming off as a 2 game suspension.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks of rest is big. I think for him coming into this game. Not a guy that needed the rest, but I think guys like that is huge coming into this one against a huge or a big defense, good defense.
I'll tell you what, I didn't think the Steelers would be advancing no matter what, but now they're playing on Monday Night Football. And what's that stat with
They haven't lost a home Monday night game since 1990.
Yeah. What do you guys Duke saying, "No, you guys so wrong." Yeah, I mean, I personally think the Texans are gonna win, but there's some weird juju, like you said, not Juju Smith-Schuster, but some vibes with the
I
Pittsburgh
loved when
Steelers
they
here.
gave us the Monday night game. I was like,
Yeah,
please don't
you were
give us
like,
Saturday at 4:30 because that's what the Texans always are is the Saturday afternoon game. I was like, please don't give us Saturday at 4:30. Like, yeah, for a fan perspective,
"Huff,
going to
Huff,
the
this
game,
guy Duke is saying you guys are wrong." He said, "The Steelers are going to win." Don't you you already said you're taking the Steelers on the money line.
yeah,
You're gonna be
yeah,
at the game.
yeah. I'll be there. I'll be in attendance. Terrible towel waving. Steelers are going to bring home a win. I'm not wrong about anything here. I mean, I
Yeah,
hope
I
I'm not.
Adam Gately saying, "Is the under 40 a good play?" I know that's really low, and you're like, "Oh, a touchdown here
I
or
like
there
the
really
first
skews
half
that."
better. I think it starts slow.
Yeah, I like that full game under. I just think the 2 defenses are great. 2 teams hyped right now. Jags and Texans both are going to burn money. Yeah, I mean, this Texans team isn't very good. We saw how bad their O-line is too. Huff, you gotta think that TJ Watt, I know he's been banged up. Highsmith, some of these guys start getting through.
Herbig, yeah.
We saw Hayward, the impact he had against even Lamar Jackson, that good Ravens O-line. Look for him to be strong once again. And like you said, Woody Marks, does he scare you? No. They're pretty one-dimensional. Joey Porter Jr., I think he was number 3 in the league in yards allowed per game in coverage
I
this
saw
year.
a
So
stat like he hasn't allowed a touchdown in coverage or a pass interference in coverage or something. He has like the third highest rating. I'm not good with those stats, but it was good.
yeah. Yeah, we got Kelso saying the Steelers are good. They almost had to lose the season. I personally don't think they're very good, but they win games.
They
That's why
just find ways to win,
Mike
Especially
Tomlin still
games
has his
like
job.
this.
You know who's going to have a big game? the guy I say every time, your best player, Chris Boswell. Look for him to be booting them through from deep. And if your defense stays strong, who's going to beat you? Nico Collins, yeah, Porter will have his hands full, but that's a good matchup there. Dalton Schultz is also
Who's that
solid.
second receiver for the for
Oh,
the for the Texans?
Jaden Higgins,
Yeah.
Xavier Hutchinson, all these young guys that they can get out there. They're at Jalen Noel, like, they have guys that can step up, but they're all young guys in their first thing, and I don't know how confident I can be in CJ Stroud. One thing though, Huff, this Texas team throughout Stroud's tenure, they've been finding ways to win playoff games, and we can't talk about the fact of that number one defense. We saw how the Steelers looked against the Browns a couple weeks ago, and that's a very similar defense with that pass rush. And Miles
Mhm.
Garrett was in Aaron Rodgers' face every time. Yeah, they were without DK Metcalf. That is a big thing. But just how can Aaron Rodgers handle this pressure? We saw how they looked against Cleveland in that rivalry game. We know they don't go to Cleveland and win games. The analytics and past history told us when they're in Cleveland, they don't win. This time, the analytics are saying on Monday Night Football at home, the Steelers win. But that pass rush is really going to scare me. Who scores the Steelers here? I like Metcalf. I think he's going to get a short touchdown inside that 5 yard line, especially when it's tough to
Gainwell.
run the ball. Yeah, normally we say Gainwell, right? But that defense is so strong for the Texans. I think when they get inside that red zone, Rodgers is going to have to look for that one-on-one matchup with the big DK Metcalf. And I think coming off that 2 game suspension, he finds his way in. Meanwhile, for the
I think Fryermuth's gonna have to have a big game with no Washington. Jonnu Smith's been kind of a disappointment the past few weeks. They've kind of eked him out of some of the plays. They like to
receiving
hand
game,
him
at
off the
least.
ball,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
don't.
saying.
That's what I mean. Like I'd get Fryermuth's had a huge past few weeks. I think you look for him to get a couple receptions, maybe 40, 50 yards and a touchdown. I think that'd be a massive game for him here.
I'm personally on the Texans in the under. I'm not going to take the Texans. It's too close to call, and all those analytics, that the past stats of the Steelers on Monday Night Football is too hard to go against. In the fact they're at home, my under is my favorite play here. I like Boswell to get over 1.5 field goals. I think DK Metcalf has a lot of receptions. I think Gainwell has a lot of receptions too. I think with that pass rush, that's how you negate it. Little dump offs to Gainwell and see what he can do. Him coming out of that, when they flex him out wide, he's tough to cover. Meanwhile, on the Texans side of the ball, I think Schultz has a big game. Going to be tough to cover him. I think Nico Collins
We
still
always
does get
struggle with
his,
with receiving tight ends.
and Schultz is a security blanket, especially when your O line's weak like the Texans is. This is going to be a good football game, though. Complete opposite of Sunday Night Football, I think. We're going to see a lot of points on Sunday with the Eagles and Niners, with the Patriots and Chargers. Then you come to this little slop fest up in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
get the terrible towels waving. It's going to be nice and hard football. It's going to be a 3 point
30,
game either way.
32 degrees at kickoff. That favors the Steelers as
Two
well.
two
Get them out in
great
the
kickers
cold.
though. 2 great kickers though. So if you're in a close game, you wanna have the ball at the end, because Boswell can hit from 50 plus, Fairbairn can hit from
Yeah.
50 plus. And I think that's how it's gonna end. We saw last week with the Ravens, that's how it ended. But with 2 experienced veteran kickers with big legs, I'd be worried if you don't have the ball as the last touch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, stay tuned for all of our plays. Hit the books.pod on Instagram, hit the books_pod on Twitter. We'll get all of our plays out
Todd,
there.
I
We
like
got
that
two
play.
games today. We got 4:30 with the Rams and Panthers, Saturday Night Football with an NFC North matchup and the Packers and Bears. All of our slate tomorrow for Sunday. Sunday, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock for Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football will round things out. Hit the books.pod on Instagram, hit the books_pod on Twitter. That's all I got for you. Let's go Steelers. Let's you can sign off your Patriots. I'll let you do that. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week for the divisional round. Hopefully, me and Ace are still battling over here
Maybe we can
for a
get one.
playoff
Maybe we
run.
can get a matchup next week if the
That'd be
cards
sweet. I was gonna
align.
say if the cards align, we could be playing next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Gonna be a fun one this weekend. A lot of good games. And
What would
Indiana,
have to
man.
happen? What would have to happen? The
The
Bills
Bills.
beat the Jags.
We have to win. The Bills win. I mean, it's not too
If you
far-fetched.
win and the Bills win, we play you next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the Steelers win too.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's not too far-fetched.
Yeah, that's not that
There's a lot
crazy.
crazier roads, right?
Yeah.
And hey, what about last take here? Someone said it in the chat earlier. Indiana, man, absolutely rolling.
Yeah, college football national championship set, Indiana, Miami. I was on Oregon last night. That was an
Is
absolute.
this scripted for Miami? Indiana's blowing the doors off people, but is it scripted for
I don't
Miami?
know, dude. I'm very weary of betting Indiana in that game. I've bet Indiana a lot this year, so that's why I didn't feel bad jumping ship last night and trying to call their upset with Oregon. Just there was so much money on Indiana, and I saw someone say Kurt Signetti is the man that does not give a fuck that there's billions of dollars on Indiana
Yeah,
minus
just
3.5.
run
He's gonna
people.
cover that fucking spread. Yeah, I was
And
like,
they
damn it, I wish I saw this before the
2
game.
weeks in a row, they blow the doors off people, but like I
Yeah.
said, Miami shouldn't have even been in this tournament. and they just keep finding ways to win, maybe get some
That
controversial
pass
calls.
interference at the end of the Ole Miss game was
Yeah,
bullshit.
and
That was
and now
bullshit.
now they're the first team to be in the national championship with a
At home.
home game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little scripted to me, but I don't know. We'll see. Heisman hopeful, number 1 pick or Heisman winner, number 1 pick. Gonna be a good one.
Previous national champion quarterback Carson Beck versus Heisman winner. That's gonna be a good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. We
But
got
yeah.
some NFL to look forward to this weekend. I'm ready for it. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.